Early second half goal by Panama propelled them through for the victory. And the Mexican fans, you see them in abundance here in Dallas, absolutely irate with their coach and with the program at that point, Mariano. But things have slightly turned back into their favor.
Well, they have improved. I mean, they're not the same team. Obviously, it's not what we're expecting as fans. But I think they're on the right path, and I think hopefully with this victory they will make it to final and hopefully get the gold cup.
I think what they showed as well, Mexico, with the physical side of the game against Trinidad and Tobago, they can handle that. They're not the biggest team, the most dominant team at the moment, but I think that side of the game where Panama maybe see that as Achilles' heel may now have to get it wide to someone like Quintero.
You see Wiki, the captain, he's got certainly some size to him, but he hasn't overly impressed you this tournament.
If I'm playing against him, I let him have it because he's a liability, because he thinks he's a player.
And Eric, stand back. There's Roman Torres. He's coming after you, Eric. He's coming after you with bad intentions.
Yeah, look at him. He won't even smile. He's all business. I think Mexico has grown up a lot in this competition. It won't be if they were to go on to win the whole thing, it wouldn't be too much of a surprise. I mean, look at Spain. They lose in their first game in the World Cup, end up carrying out the trophy. So let's see what happens. This is a very intriguing match.
Ladies and gentlemen,
time now for our national anthems.
The national anthem of Panama, to be followed by the national anthem of Mexico. Damas y caballeros, les pedimos levantarse para el himno nacional de Panamá y después el himno nacional de México.
safe to say that home field advantage at this neutral site will be for Mexico. Again, these two countries in the thick of World Cup qualifying. Mexico right now in the hex sitting in third, which is the last locked-in spot, if you will. Panama on the outside looking in fifth for right now. But their priority tonight, to play Sunday in Chicago versus the United States in the Gold Cup final. For the first 45, two guys cheering for Mexico, two impartial, well-respected journalists over here on the other side for the call. Keith Costigan and John Strong.
Rob, this is the sixth time that teams have played in the group stage and again in the knockout round. The only time a team has won in the group stage meeting and not won the knockout meeting, that was Panama 2 years ago, losing to the semi-final to the United States. Hoping to undo that history here as Courtney Campbell takes us through the coin toss. Our referee, let's take a look at the starting lineups for this match. And they're brought to you by Sprint, official sponsor of the CONCACAF Gold Cup. First up for Panama, Keith, unchanged from the previous game, but really the larger story is how they're different from when they beat Mexico at the Rose Bowl a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, and the one change from that victory over Mexico first time is an upgrade for me because it's Blas Perez in the starting lineup. Scored 2 goals in the last match, and he and Gabriel Torres, such a potent strike force. But watch out, of course, for Quintero on that left-hand side, who had a very good game first time out against Mexico.
Same story for Mexico. They're the same, but they're different.
There are 4 changes from the side that lost to Panama. Most notably for me is Miguel Layún coming in at right back. That gives them maybe a better defensive presence, but Layún also likes to go forward, so maybe we'll force Quintero back a little bit as well. In midfield, Peña and Montes didn't start the first match. They will have to be the creative influence in the middle for Mexico.
Jose Manuel Chepo de la Torre, he can again continue to ease some of that pressure on his neck with a win. Julio Dele Valdez, this would be a signature victory for him in charge of Panama to do it for a second time over Mexico and get to the final of the Gold Cup for a second time. 4th Gold Cup meeting between these teams. They've each won once, and they've had one draw. Of course, it was 2-1 to Panama at the Rose Bowl 2.5 weeks ago. The last time a team was able to beat Mexico twice in the same calendar year was in 2007. It was done by the United States as we take a moment of silence before the kickoff.
In memory of former referee Arturo Yamasaki, a member of the CONCACAF Hall of Fame, who passed away yesterday at the age of 84. Damas y caballeros, a continuación estaremos guardando un momento de silencio en memoria del señor árbitro Arturo Yamasaki, miembro del Salón de la Fama de CONCACAF, quien falleció el día de ayer a la edad de 84 años. Thank you. Gracias.
In front of a crowd in the neighborhood of 80,000 at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas. A grudge match from the opening day of the tournament. We're underway in the second semifinal of the 2013 CONCACAF Gold Cup. Mexico in the green and white, Panama in the red. Panama trying to get to their second ever Gold Cup final. Mexico have lost just once in 8 previous semifinal appearances. That came back in the original Gold Cup, 1991, to the United States. Keith Costigan, what are you looking for early in this match?
Well, I want to see a sense of urgency from Mexico. When these two sides first met, it was Panama's 4-4-2 that really stifled them going forward. They never really got in a rhythm and didn't create too many chances. So I expect Mexico to be a little bit more cutting in their possession and try to fashion more goal-scoring opportunities from it.
Well, Wiki there, the center back and captain with the errant long ball, as the Olays were starting up early for the Mexico faithful. Alejandro Castro still in for Jorge Enriquez, or at the very least, Enriquez still out. They're suffering that hamstring injury against Martinique in the group stage. There's Blas Perez on his 80th cap for Panama, putting the shot right at the goalkeeper, Jonathan Orozco.
And it's something Perez can do, and I expect him to be the one forward that drifts in and almost becomes that 5th midfielder. He can also turn and strike from distance.
Up for Marco Fabian, scored a goal in each of the group stage matches. But held out, as were most of the Mexican team against Trinidad and Tobago. Took until their 25th shot of the match. The before Raul Jimenez was able to score. Jimenez winning the ball back there, but it's a foul. And a free kick for Panama.
We saw Mexico there with a spell of possession. I think the center of the park is going to be a fascinating matchup. Mexico with 3 players in there, Castro, Pena and Montes. Panama with Anibal Godoy and Gabriel Gomez. Can Mexico take advantage of that extra man? How will Panama cope with that? They coped very well in the first matchup, but it is different personnel tonight.
And Panama have been very good in this tournament. They've lost just 1 of their last 9 Gold Cup matches. And they've been knocked out of this tournament the last 4 editions by the United States. So they'd very much like a second crack at the Americans in the final on Sunday, as the pass for Blas Perez is sent away by Juan Carlos Valenzuela. It's going to be pulled back for a foul here. Once again, you see Chepo De La Torre, and where is his players, including Jonathan Orozco, immediately after the quarterfinal win. We're talking about revenge, revenge, revenge. Very much downplaying that side of it, Keith.
I think as most managers do, but the players, it's got to be part of the mindset because the game is so fresh in their memory. There was a lot of pressure. The fans maybe got on their backs a little bit, so the players may feel like they're the fans more than anybody else a better result.
Ricky had 2 attempts at that before with stuff. Gabriel Torres now racing the other way. It's 3-on-3 if they go quickly. Alberto Quintero now, that pass led him a little bit. Great cutback. Quintero's cross knocked away by Wiki. Quintero, who had that monster game at the Rose Bowl on the opening day of the tournament.
Interesting, we see him pop up on that right-hand side. Something we haven't seen so far, but a very capable player, one-on-one, attacking either flank.
Arias, the right back, in towards Perez. Up in the air, Wiki heads away. Quintero nods down to no one. Jimenez trying to lay back there. There's Carlos Pena making the run. Chen, the 19-year-old center back, an errant long ball forward.
It's very interesting that Quintero is staying on this right-hand side, so obviously it's something Deli Valdez has identified as a weakness for Mexico, switching one of his best players in the tournament to the opposite flank.
Good to see that Mexico have lost just 1 of their 8 previous semifinal appearances. They've gone extra time the last 2, though. Beat Costa Rica in penalties in 2009, won an extra time against Honduras 2 years ago, before beating the U.S. for a second straight time in the final, as the ball sent in and sent straight back out by Perez. Torres trying to turn. Quintero now under pressure. That was one of the keys to the game. You heard from our crew in the studio, Panama's ability to hold and keep possession, particularly on a field which, as we have seen, is less than ideal.
Yeah, it's been a scrappy beginning from both sides, just feeling each other out shape-wise.
Valenzuela, who subbed on at halftime and the loss to Panama on the group stage. Taken away there from Layun. We're right back. We came charging forward.
Yeah, Layun does like to get in advanced positions going forward. That's why a little surprised Quintero hasn't started on that left flank. Would force Layun to stay back and honor his attacking abilities.
Deli Valdez, who was on the 2005 Panama team that got to the final before losing to the U.S. in penalties, is in charge of the national team now. Held in by Castro, a touch off the referee, and Quintero trying to get away from the referee. Blas Perez. We play upfield. Marcos Sanchez making the run forward. And normally we've seen him on the right, now on the left. Sanchez's cross. Gabriel Gomez, chance to lay it back in there, and good defending, backtracking by Carlos Pena to knock it away.
And good play from Sanchez. He will cut back in on that right foot all the time. The shape right now, Panama will make them a little bit more narrow.
Mexico having a hard time In possession in the attacking half, getting up to their forwards as Gabriel Gomez, the former Philadelphia Union man, knocks it out.
Yeah, a lot like the first game, John. They did struggle to get any kind of momentum going forward, any kind of rhythm. We have seen Mexico improve as the tournament's gone along, but it's been a stop-start beginning to this game so far.
Into the high boot there. Referee lets it go as Chen knocks it long. Its flag is up there on Gabriel Torres. And we mentioned it, Mexico's an ever-present at this stage of the tournament. Is this the first time that we can consider Mexico at best even, if not necessarily an underdog to their opponent?
Yeah, well, you see a lot of people out there. I don't think it was just the fact that Panama won. It was the manner in which they won. They didn't seem troubled late in that second half against Mexico. Held on quite comfortably for the victory.
Layun, early cross. Chen heads away.
We saw Layun set up the winner against Trinidad in a similar position. Can't cross the ball from there.
Jimenez knocked it down, couldn't do anything with it. And it's knocked in behind for a goal kick.
Raul Jimenez has scored a big goal in the last game, and I'm still not sold on him as a really top-level international striker just yet. Mexico have had some good spells of possession in this tournament, and I don't think they've always had the cutting edge in the attack.
Perez taking a tumble there on the landing. Mexico players down as well. They're going up to meet the goal kick. To his feet now is Luis Montes.
Perez ever willing to challenge for those kind of balls, and as a player you can see from the two strikers for Panama, he's the one that will drift closer to the midfield and they'll look to link through him.
I saw those two talking. They exchanged an embrace as the teams are lining up for the tunnel. Montes for Mexico, Perez for Panama. Teammates twice in Mexico with Pachuca in 2009 and with Leon in 2011. Getting involved early there. Once again, the flag is up on Gabriel Torres. 5 goals in the tournament. Torres, after he scored twice in the quarterfinal victory over Cuba, level with Chris Wondolowski and Landon Donovan for top scorer at the tournament. Over the open side, Aldrete, the left back. For Marco Fabian. Layun in behind. See how high that ball is bouncing. Hard to do anything with it. It's over the line for a goal kick.
It was a difficult ball, but I think it was the right idea for Marco Fabian. He's been arguably Mexico's best attacking player in the tournament so far. Very creative. Likes to come in off that left-hand side. And that's the first time we saw Mexico break the initial press from Panama. Have a spell of possession. Good idea. Ryan not too far away from keeping that one in. The fullback will continue to make those runs, and there you saw the thumbs up. He liked the intent. Again, that ball just bouncing an awful lot on the turf and all the way through. We take a look at the top goal scorers for this tournament. Mentioned to you Gabriel Torres of Panama, the strike partner of Blas Perez. Tied at the top, and Torres, who made his debut for Panama when he was 6. Team, 2 goals in his first 35 international matches. He has scored 5 in 3 in this tournament. Early running. Chen playing it over the top, just running past Sanchez there. Can he chase it down? No, it's going to run all the way through. I'm just surprised how deep Mexico sat, allowing Panama to play out of the back. Another ball didn't get through to Gabriel Torres. We saw on this left-hand side, Marco Fabian very deep indeed, almost coming back to double up on Quintero.
header there by Jimenez, but picked up by Lionel Perez, the right back of Panama. Gomez. Sanchez with his head up, looking for the run of Gabriel Torres now. Wiki's the defender. Torres able to cut back onto his right foot. The cross just beyond Perez's outstretched foot. Gabriel Gomez now trying to recenter, and it was over and out for a goal kick.
Oh, very good football from Panama again. That four-man midfield stretching the three of Mexico, and again, good service into the box. Gabriel Torres with good movement. This time he cuts back in, and look at the run from Perez, timing it well from dropping deep to getting himself in the box. And Mexico is struggling to cope with the movement from the 4-4-2 of Panama.
After a heavy first touch, Quintero takes it away. Alberto Quintero now for Panama. Quintero back for Blas Perez from a tight angle and scores! Blas Perez's 10th Gold Cup goal in his career, and Panama have the early lead once again on Mexico.
And what a mistake at the back by Mexico. Orozco trying to get his troops rallied again, but simply just giving the ball away. Credit Quintero, pressing, denying the fullback the ability to go forward. There we see on the turn, good win from Quintero, and now he commits the defender. Once Wiki goes towards him, he plays the ball, and that's a difficult angle for Blas Perez, but he goes for power and he gets it beyond Orozco. And this goal's been coming for me. Mexico have been poor to begin this game, and they're deservedly 1-0 down.
You see the Dele Valdez brothers reacting. Jorge, the assistant, Julio, the head coach. On his 80th international, his 32nd goal, Blas Perez. 3 in, what, a game in 12-odd minutes.
When you talk about coaches making tactical mistakes, sometimes overthinking things, Quintero comes to this right-hand side, immediately involved, gets the assist on the goal. So far, credit Julio Dele Valdez on making that switch.
And now New Mexico have something in response. Flipped over there, Jimenez trying to change the overhead clearance from Roman Torres, the Panama captain. A lazy pass intercepted by Alberto Quintero. Created both goals against Mexico in the group stage. Won a penalty, had an assist.
You saw Paris, the fullback, getting out wide, and he'll still have the ability to do that with Quintero on this side, because Quintero will look to go in on his left foot, and then the fullback will continue to provide the width. Checo de la Torre is not happy.
And a free kick there as Quintero was fouled. Torres to take. But beyond Perez, not the best defensive header by Castro. It's off Perez's back, throws the shove there on Layun, who reacts with his speed. Adrian Aldrete, the left back.
You saw Aldrete trying to get that ball to Fabian, but good defensive play, forcing the ball the opposite way.
Valenzuela goes long. Picked up there by Fabian. Fabian's ball into the box, straight up in the air by Torres. Knotted down. A chance here for Peña to try to control back to goal, and Panama able to scramble it out.
You saw Fabian having to drop very deep to get on the ball. That's not a good sign for Mexico. Creative player like him, you want him really been involved in things at the edge of that box, probing.
Tough pass there. Good control by Fabian. It did stay in play. Aldrete, the left back, has come forward. His cross blocked. Although it's going to be given. There's a throw in the end.
I've been impressed with Roman Torres in this tournament so far. Strong, combative central defender, good organizational ability as well.
Bruno Paris, who started all games in the hexagonal of World Cup qualifying. Panama not dropping as many players from their qualifying squad for this as Mexico, but still quite a few, including Felipe Beloy, their captain. As Mexico win a free kick here in the edge of the attacking third. Montes going down.
Yeah, silly area to give that free kick away. Godoy just overzealous in the challenge. The Mexican midfielder facing away from goal and just bit in on Montes. You see Montes shows him the ball and then just moves it quickly enough. The boy mistimes the challenge, but a free kick in a good position.
Well, we saw Layun, the number 19, force a good save out of Jan-Michael Williams, the Trinidad and Tobago goalkeeper, on Saturday. One of 10 saves that he made in that match. As it's sent in quickly, and the follow-up is over there. Rafael Marquez Lugo set up on the volley. Panama unawares, but they survive.
It just came to Marquez Lugo so quickly, he couldn't get his head over it. Always leaning back, but a well-worked free kick. Montes involved too, Lyon. Maybe just a little bit too far for a shot on goal, so they work the set piece off the training ground. It almost comes to fruition. There you see, great link-up play. Good play from Valenzuela.
Pena plays for Leon, helped them win promotion in the spring season. Of course, the Mexican League is already underway just this last weekend. These players rushing back to their clubs once the tournament is over, which may be a few days sooner than anyone would have expected or anyone in Mexico would have hoped. As Panama now win a free kick, it's Quintero going down.
Definite contact on Quintero. Aldrete again just needs to hold up the attacker on that side. Can almost force him wide. You know Quintero wants to come back on that left foot. Just force him into the touchline.
Gabriel Torres to take. Top scorer in the Venezuelan League this last season. That's the man he's targeting, Blas Perez. And it's going to be a foul there before the header even reaches Roman Torres. Well, Reminder fans, don't forget the 2013 CONCACAF Gold Cup final will be in Chicago, Illinois at Soldier Field this Sunday afternoon, July 28th. Don't miss this memorable night of soccer. Tickets are still available at www.goldcup.org. Who will face the United States? Will it be a fourth straight U.S.-Mexico final as Fabian cutting in from the left, and he's fouled right on the edge of the box.
And when he gets in that area, Marco Fabian can be lethal. First time we've really seen him have the opportunity to face up and go at goal, and there's a free kick in a very good position. Quintero, that's just a reckless challenge coming back, and what he's shaking his hand at the referee for. The challenge at that angle will always be given, but good play from Fabian. Again, he's looked the most enterprising of the Mexican attacking players.
Fabian right-footed, Montes left-footed over this. Jaime Pineda, the Panama goalkeeper. It's Fabian, and right to the goalkeeper.
On target, but keeper well positioned. Easy enough save in the end. Does a good job of holding on to it. You see a couple of players, Jimenez in close proximity.
I mentioned it would be a fourth straight U.S.-Mexico final if Mexico are able to turn this around. The last time that it was in those two countries was when Panama got to the final in 2005. Gabriel Torres trying to find Quintero. Well done there by Aldrete to knock it away, but he has to defend this again. On the overlap, it's Paris. His cutback cross set behind by Wiki.
And they just struggle with that there because Aldrete doesn't know what way to go. He's trying to go in and commit on Quintero, but then Paris gives the width out wide. Good play from the fullback and Quintero.
First corner of the match for Panama. Both center backs walking forward there. 23 Chen and 5 Torres as Gabriel Torres is set to take. Not a whole lot of space on that near side for the outswinger, and getting up to it there was Anibal Godoy, the midfielder, but ends up as a throw-in.
A good delivery from Torres, who's had good deliveries on all the set pieces in this tournament so far. You mentioned the Mexican-U.S. history in the finals. They will have to drastically improve in this match. A long way from being over, but this has been a poor beginning.
Probably a microcosm of the tournament, though, because you were saying before, they definitely have improved as the tournament's gone on.
I think we've seen spells of possession. I think Warren mentioned in the pre-game show that they have had a lot of chance, a lot of shots on goal, but just haven't seen them get in that rhythm in this match so far.
It was back past Orozco there, and Perez is chasing after him. That's what you want. Force it back to the keeper, force him to play long, out for a throw.
It's exactly the same thing that cost the goal. Mexico just befuddled by two attacking players, denying them the ability to play out easily.
And the fans are letting him hear about it. Castro has it down. Godoy picks it up. Looking to switch for Quintero. Able to control. Man on his back. Paris now in the overlap. His cross on the deck. Swing and a miss from Gabriel Torres on the doorstep. And Huiki carries it out, but not out of danger. Quintero. Panama still on the attack. Paris. Quintero. Broken up by Marco Fabian. How can Mexico quickly counter? Not the best pass for Raul Jimenez.
We keep talking about how poorly Mexico played, but what football from Panama again. Paris on this right-hand side. The best winger in the tournament, arguably, in Quintero on that right-hand side. It's not stopping him go forward. Very good attacking play yet again, and a good chance.
Let's go to our man on the sidelines for this, Francisco X. Rivera, for more on Blas Perez. Francisco.
Thank you, John Keith. Yesterday here at Cowboy Stadium, there was a press conference with coaches, obviously, and most questions were directed towards Blas Perez. We obviously know his experience in Mexico. He actually scored 21 goals in 62 games with 3 top-flight teams, so his experience, his knowledge, scouting the Mexican national team was going to be key. By the way, Blas Perez is now the 3rd best goal scorer in Gold Cup history, behind Landon Donovan and Luis Roberto Alvesague from Mexico. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Francisco. And Perez, who plies his trade in Dallas now with FC Dallas. A bit further north of town, though, where he plays his club games, as Marco Sanchez has it now for Panama. The return from Torres. The lovely touch around Castro. Sanchez, though, can't get the shot on target.
That's great football again. Marco Sanchez has taken to this left-hand side very well indeed, too. Comfortable player on the ball. Again, looks to go inside, and when you have 2 forwards, he can provide quality service. I don't think I can remember a Mexican side looking so subdued. And it is only 1-0 and still plenty of time left in this game.
Good header win on the outside by Aldrete, but Harry sends it back upfield. Torres for Quintero to chase foot race here with Joel Huiki. He's going to win. Alberto Quintero now cuts back, crosses, and too close to Orozco.
Huiki just didn't look comfortable coming out there to cover. You always knew, you mentioned it, John, he was always going to lose that race with Quintero. Again, very influential tonight.
Carlos Pena now the other way. Marco Fabian. Still Fabian trying to find space. Gets the crossway back post, and the header is a goal. They've tied it up. Luis Montes.
It's undeserved, but I don't think Chepo de la Torre cares too much. We knew Marco Fabian was going to be involved if Mexico were going to create something. And he conjures a beautiful ball across. Keeper couldn't come out. And what a finish from Montes. Look at this piece of trickery from Fabian. We've talked about Quintero on one end. Now we see a piece of wing wizardry on the other. And that finish, no room for error, right in the top corner. Keeper was never going to stand a chance. But having played so poorly, Mexico find themselves level. And it's down to this man for me, Marco Fabian.
Luis Montes' second goal of the tournament, scored against Martinique as well. That screamer, you'll remember. And it's just the 3rd goal that Panama have conceded, and now their 5th match at this tournament.
It came at a time too where, John, you could feel the confidence of the Panama players surging forward, creating opportunities, and then in an instant Mexico struck on the counter-attack.
The surge of momentum now as Marquez Lugo tried to bring that down. It's Chen for Panama, just gets it away. We were asking about 10 minutes ago, how would Mexico respond? Now we'll find out how Panama can respond. Of course, let's not forget, at the Rose Bowl 2.5 weeks ago, Mexico came back late in the first half, tied it. Panama still went on to win. Pinedo pressured and forced into a bad giveaway.
You can sense the atmosphere just building, a little bit more confidence in the Mexican player steps.
Second ball on the field there, stopping the Mexico possession. Has his pocket picked from behind by Gabriel Torres. Now Quintero. The return was poked away from behind, but it's going to be a Mexico throw, and Quintero now down on the turf.
Good movement from Gabriel Torres, and this time Quintero given no room to maneuver.
Stoppage here as Quintero remains down.
You see, look how quickly the pressure came. Alejandro Castro. That angle. Let's catch some of the player too, so Quintero's a little bit aggrieved.
Of course, the last match that the referee tonight. Take a look back at the goal, first of all.
What a finish it is. I know I gave Fabian all the credit. Still a lot to do for Montes, but right in the top corner, found the camera quite well. But it was such an inviting cross from Fabian to attack.
It's in play there. Blas Perez knew he was offside. Go back downstairs to Francisco X Rivera. Francisco.
Thank you, John. Mexico was a hospital before the start of the Gold Cup. 5 players were replaced due to injury. That opened opportunities for players like Luis Montes and Raúl Jiménez, who actually combined has scored 4 goals. Actually, half of Mexico's production in this Gold Cup. So what a break for both Montes and Jiménez. Back to you guys.
Well, and young players, less experienced players, perhaps the better way to phrase it, stepping up. Pena off the chest. Pena gets it back out wide. Marco Fabian's cross takes a bounce. It's headed back wide by Rodriguez, the left back, as Pinedo is scrambling around. And it's out for a Mexico throw.
Good play from Pena, getting the ball wide. Fabian's cross maybe just a fraction behind the attacking players, but better stuff over the last few minutes from Mexico, finally hitting their stride.
Adrian Aldrete. Back from Jimenez. Cross takes a deflection in the air. Gomez heads away, knocked down by Fabian, but couldn't hold on to it. We've hit the half-hour mark at Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, Texas. The semifinal of the 2013 CONCACAF Gold Cup. Panama with the lead in the 13th minute. 13 minutes later, Mexico tied it up. That's how we are, where we are, with an hour left to go.
Montes gave the ball away in there, but immediately put pressure back on Panama. I think he and Pena have been a lot more active over these last couple of minutes in the middle of midfield.
Fabian. Jimenez, the dummy. Falls back for Fabian. That's a bit too tough there before Torres is fouled. Mexico trying to avoid just their second ever semifinal defeat in this tournament. Since the first Gold Cup after rebranding in 1991. Panama trying to avoid the same fate from 2 years ago where they beat the U.S. in the group stage and then lost to them in the rematch of the semifinal. Yeah, sounds like we have some activity on the Mexico bench. Back to Francisco X Rivera.
Thank you, John. And Chepo de la Torre is restless, understanding the meaning of this game. So he sends Efraín Velarde and Jorge Enriquez quickly to warm up behind Jonathan Orozco's goal.
Thank you, Francisco. And again, no chances here to be taken. Won't get a second opportunity at this. Again, Marco Fabian, so much going through him here in this first half. Adrilte making the run and looks to come inside. This is Layun. Montes, the goal scorer, flipping it in, back post, Fabian just beyond him.
Good football. Layun getting forward, getting the ball into Montes, and you saw more of that probing. Good run from Fabian.
Carlos Perez. And boy, all of a sudden it's Panama who barely had the ball in the attacking half. We were saying that about Mexico earlier in this half.
We haven't really seen that from the Mexican midfielders. Pena, Montes, all of a sudden getting the ball, facing the Panama goal, looking for balls like that into the area, and it was a good run from Fabian. Our goal can change a game. Confidence is up now.
Jimenez off his shoulder. Roman Torres then fouled as he plays it upfield. And this referee, Courtney Campbell, his last match, that was the quarterfinal on Sunday. Costa Rica and Honduras. 39 fouls, 5 yellow cards. Could have easily been 2, maybe even 3 red cards. So we'll see if he handles this one differently as the intensity picks up. Rodriguez early cross. Too close to Orozco.
The first time we've seen the fullback get forward on that left-hand side.
Scored his first goal for Panama in the rout against Cuba. And now knocked back defensively. Here they come quickly on the right side. Luis Montes engaging with the center-back Chen. His cross, no one there. Headed away by Paris. And no one there to clean it up for Mexico. Quintero, lovely sidestep to get away from one man. Dump to the Turks. He plays it forward for Blas Perez. Numbers filtering forward here. Marcos Sanchez back for Perez. And Quintero has stayed down. Second time today we've seen him on the turf.
I wonder will the referee have a word with, I didn't quite see in the initial play which Mexican player caught Quintero, but after he played the ball it did look cynical. There's the ball on that. You could easily see Castro going into the referee's notebook. Late challenge off the ball. So many times the referees just let those kind of plays go after the advantage has been played.
Mexico win it back in the middle. Castro. Montes inside. Rafael Marquez Lugo. Layun now looking for the long switch. Tufon.
Again, just like earlier when Fabian was trying to find Layun. The ball applauded. The intent was right. The execution wasn't. And Layun can be a very influential player on that right-hand side.
Dele Valdez was very happy with how things were going earlier on, and that goal has just switched the momentum.
Looks like they switched there to Panama. It's Gabriel Torres drifting in now, and Blas Perez playing as the higher striker. I like it when they do it the opposite way around.
Jimenez acrobatically off the chest. To the feet now is Luis Montes. Wide for Miguel Layun. Rodriguez trying to get out there to meet him. It's down the cross. Kind of slipped open. A great reaction as he was falling down to keep the possession with Panama. Rodriguez's ball and Perez is hit hard. The referee may have extra punishment meted out indeed. Yellow card. Juan Carlos Valenzuela, the center back.
There's just no need to make that challenge there because the ball's in the air. I don't think Blas Perez is going to do much with that ball. It's almost out of play, in fact. Needless. And let's hope he doesn't come to regret that later on in the game.
First yellow card of the game comes the other way. Marco Fabian. All of a sudden, Mexico in the attack and playing safe. There was Carlos Rodriguez. Wasn't sure where Marquez Lugo was on the backside. It's out for Mexico's first corner of the night.
A similar kind of delivery to the one that brought the goal, and Rodriguez asking for help. Not in the area, but asking for help in denying the delivery.
Both center backs are forward as Montes prepares to take. Swung in near post, headed back away. In by Castro, out by Sanchez. Montes a second chance. That was not hit the way he wanted. Can Quintero get away? There's a lot of green space upfield, but shot down by two Mexico players. That's way too long for the back.
There's no real need to force that there. Keep possession. A positive response since that equalizer. Mexico starting to probe. Being much better in possession.
Torres. Quickly into a pocket of space. Back for Pena. Almost slipped through there for Fabian as Gabriel Gomez couldn't control it a second time. Given away though. Montes for Mexico. Fabian laying back. Trying to find Pena there.
For Marquez Lugo a couple of times there, just sloppy in possession. I think he's had the best tournament so far for Mexico. One of those attacking players trying to showcase his ability to be in the squad on a permanent basis.
Well, how does Panama turn this back around again? Barely get the ball in the attacking half, they give it back. They're doing an awful lot of defending right now as the man's down for Mexico.
It's important they continue to try push the fullbacks forward and make the likes of Fabian and Marquez Lugo on the other side defend. It's easier said than done though, because Mexico have the momentum now.
Valenzuela carrying forward upfield. Up for Miguel Layun. He was the man down. He's back up. Layun's cross deep to the back post. It's a foot race. And it's going to be out in the end for a goal kick. And an extra little contact there between Fabian and Quintero.
And maybe the two best players on the pitch for their respective sides, attacking-wise, so far. There was never really a threatening cross from Layun. I think Mexico has the kind of striker who likes to get after that kind of delivery. Both players swung their arms. I think Fabian maybe with even more intent.
Winning the header. And you got a sense there in that shot. It's not the widest field, very similar to the field the two teams played on Saturday at the Georgia Dome. As Perez takes a knock to the back.
It's very clumsy from Wiki, because again, it's a situation where Blas Perez isn't going to do much with the ball, and you've given the referee an easy out.
5 minutes to go in the first half, which has featured two significant swings in momentum.
There's no doubt about that for me. Both hands up, push in the back, and that's why I like Perez drifting back in there and being the one playing closer to the midfield. I think he does a good job in that position.
And again, interesting on these set pieces for Panama, their best goal scorer this tournament, taking them. So 40 yards away from goal. What could be a good opportunity. Gabriel Torres puts it in. Godoy's header back across, but no one there. Held in by Quintero. As Gomez just to his left. Gabriel Gomez is crossed now beyond the targets. Gabriel Torres knocks it back forward. Who's on side? Who isn't? It's going to be knocked wide by Castro. Layun straight up in the air. Guiqui's header goes backwards behind for a Panama corner.
There's pressure applied to this Mexican back forward. They do not look comfortable, particularly centrally. Torres on his set piece, a lot like Robin van Persie at Manchester United, but with Torres' credit, he does deliver a good corner kick and free kick.
Heavy artillery forward for Panama. Gabriel Torres there. avoiding the shrapnel. Torres on the ground. Sent back by Marco Sanchez. Fired in from way out and way off.
Well, it began as a corner off the training ground. Not sure the idea was to get the ball to Roberto Chen, 40 yards from goal.
Chen, who again has drawn the interest of the Seattle Sounders in MLS, was on trial with them before the tournament, and certainly some interest from them bringing in the 19-year-old. Again, we've seen a lot of players, as ever, that showed well in this tournament in the last couple of days, popping up on trial with MLS teams.
He's 19, he's a big presence. He'll continue to get better and could be a good fit in Seattle as well.
Leon's pass into the center. Luis Montes now. Flipping it all the way wide. Marco Fabian again pulling away from Paris. Fabian, double team, gets a cross away, hacked at by Montes, looking for his second goal. But it spins out for a goal kick.
Well, Montes again, the man attacking in that area. We still need to see the other attacking players, Rafa Marquez, Lugo, Raul Jimenez, also attacking those kind of areas, but not much movement from the other two attackers. As you can see, both in static positions, and Chevo de la Torre not happy.
Well, that was one of the keys coming in, patience from Mexico. Again, it's kind of a nebulous idea, but is Mexico showing the right amount of patience so far?
You know, I think in those situations you're looking to get deliveries into the area. For me, then it's more of a case of movement inside the box. And we haven't always seen that from Rafa Marquez, Lugo, and Raul Jimenez.
And Mexico, the second most shots on goal of any team in the tournament, but of the four semifinalists, the lowest percentage of those shots on goal that have actually gone in for goals. It was their 25th shot of the day, their 11th on target, which finally provided the breakthrough against Trinidad and Tobago on Saturday. Panama, meanwhile, hitting for 6 in their quarterfinal. Highest ever tally by a quarterfinal team in Gold Cup history. Montes being pressured there by Marco Sanchez, who wins the ball. Sanchez now crossing in, blocked. Perez off the bar! And the whistle going for a foul. It wouldn't have counted.
We saw that early on from Marco Sanchez. Will always cut back in on that right foot, but he can deliver, and great run from Perez. Good header.
Quickly the other way. Marco Fabian off the chest, keeps it in play. Quickly the double team chasing him down. Laid back for Alderete. Fabian, great little hip feint to get inside. Paris can't take it off him. The back heel from Marquez Lugo won't work. And it's cleared out of immediate harm. Back in by Castro. Mistake there perhaps by Quintero to let it go. Marco Fabian will win a throw in the end as he's dumped to the turf.
What a battle between these two. I think Fabian wanted the support from Alderete a little bit earlier.
And a yellow card to Alberto Quintero.
Let's have a look at that one again. I thought he got the ball. We'll see if he calls the free kick. I thought he cleared the ball initially.
Yeah, we saw the two of these come together a few minutes ago.
Actually got the ball, so I would say the referee's got that one wrong. His momentum has continued to go through, but he definitely got the ball, and Quintero has every right to feel aggrieved.
Temperature rising as we get into stoppage time. 1 minute extra on the watch of referee Courtney Campbell. Layun trying to get away from Godoy. Goes to ground, wins a free kick out of that. So a good late chance here from Mexico at the end of the first half. This first half stoppage time when they scored to tie it up with Panama at the Rose Bowl in the group stage. Can they take the lead in a similar situation? This ball is driven in on frame and the header flashing over.
That's a great delivery, and Marquez Lugo this time times his run. Well positioned, but didn't trouble the goalkeeper Pineda.
Sets up well for an intense second half, doesn't it?
It really does. It's been a very interesting first 45 minutes. Panama started off so well, but Mexico have come back into this game and arguably taken control since that leveler, so all to play for in the second half.
Courtney Campbell, a look at his watch as the noise once again swells for the Mexico supporters ahead of a Jaime Pinedo goal kick. And that is halftime. Blas Perez' 10th Gold Cup goal in his career, putting Panama up. Luis Montes for the second time in the tournament, tying it up 13 minutes on, 45 minutes down, 45 to go in this semifinal of the 2013 CONCACAF Gold Cup. And our score, Panama 1, Mexico 1. Let's go back now for halftime analysis and reaction. Here's Rob Stone.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. This one looks awfully familiar. When they met earlier in this tournament, Panama got to the lead. Mexico tied it up 1-1 at the break then, 1-1 at the break now. The United States earlier victorious over Honduras. Landon Donovan, 2 goals and an assist. He has everybody talking. Ditto for this guy, Jurgen Klinsmann, sent to the showers early in this game. We'll hear from him coming up on the Miller Lite halftime show. Mexico trying to get back to the Gold Cup final and defend the crown they've won the last 2 times. Panama has never won it, and they're tied at 1s with El Tri.
The CONCACAF Gold Cup halftime show is presented by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time.